The cold lights of the Federation patrol ship flickered as it drifted through a silent sector of space. This area wasn't on any trade route. It wasn't even on the maps anymore. It was the edge of Earth's forgotten war zones, places where terrible things once happened and nobody wanted to return. Lieutenant Rix leaned over the console. "We picked up a distress signal, sir," he said. "Old Earth code, from over 70 years ago." Captain Ilrin narrowed his eyes. "From what kind of ship?" "No ship. It's coming from a station's mall. Broken. Looks like it's been drifting for decades." The crew exchanged quiet glances. Old Earth signals didn't just appear.
No.
Something survived out here. It had a reason. "Bring us in," Oran ordered. As they approached, the station looked like a grave. Black metal twisted by old explosions, hole markings burned out, and large pieces floating around like bones. But the signal kept flashing, soft, steady, like a heartbeat. "Dock us carefully. Get a team ready," the captain said. 10 minutes. Later, a small crew entered the station. It was dark, silent, and cold. The only sound was their own breathing and the faint hum of emergency lights. They followed the signal down a rusted hallway and opened a sealed door. Inside, sitting calmly, in a medbay chair, was a girl. She looked about 17. Her hair was short, dusty. Her clothes were plain, old Earth military issue, but there were no ID tags, no badges, no name. Just a burned-in mark on her wrist. The mark was small, shaped like a flame with 2 rings around it. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She just looked at them. "She's alive," said one medic, stepping closer. "Vitals are strong, no wounds. But no implants, no trackers. It's like she was never registered." The captain watched through the helmet. "Feed from the ship? Bring her aboard," he said, voice tight. The girl was placed in the medbay of the ship. She hadn't said a word. She didn't resist. She didn't even blink much. The crew whispered about her, guessing who or what she could be. Some said she was a clone. Others thought she was a weapon. A few believed she might be a survivor of the old Embercore war Earth, erased from public history. "Have you seen this mark before?" Rix asked Dr. Halwyn, the ship's senior historian. Halwyn stared at the hologram of the wrist mark. Turned pale. "I've only seen that in one place. A file buried in Earth's deep archives." "What does it mean?" The doctor looked at him. "That mark isn't a rank. It's a threat warning. This was used to label something Earth made, and then tried to forget." Later that night, strange things started happening. One of the guards stationed outside the medbay vanished. The hallway camera showed static. Another guard went in to check and he vanished too. The ship's AI locked the room, but the girl never moved. She sat there, hands in her lap, watching, calm, like nothing was wrong. Captain Ilren stormed to the control deck. "What the hell is going on?" "Sir," said the AI, "we are unable to detect vital signs from the 2 missing crew. Life signs lost. Room scanned only. 1 life form remains inside. Just the girl?" "Yes, Captain. How?" No one had answers. The next day, the girl spoke for the first time. Rix had gone in alone, despite the warnings. He sat across from her, heart racing. "Who are you?" he asked. She looked at him slowly. "I was part of Embercore," she said in a soft voice. "What's Embercore?" "Forgotten," she replied. "Because Earth wanted it forgotten, they made us, and they left us. I was 13 when they shut it down." Rick swallowed hard. "What does the mark mean?" Girl looked down at her wrist. "It means I don't exist. And if you're reading it, it's already too late." Suddenly, the lights dimmed. The ship shuddered. No, systems glitched. Rick stood up, panicking. "What's happening?" "I sent a signal," she said. "They'll come soon." "Who's coming?" The girl looked up. Her eyes were calm to calm. "The ones Earth fears. The ones who hunted us after the war. The ones who still remember." Captain Ilrin ordered the ship on high alert. "Why didn't the medbay sensors pick up anything unusual?" He barked. "They did," said the AI, "but they didn't understand what they were seeing. Her body registers human. But her neural structure, it's not standard. It's heavily altered." "What do you mean altered?" "She's faster, smarter, stronger, and trained. Whoever she is, she's not a normal girl." Ilren felt a chill down his back. "Then what is she?" Later, the crew located a hidden file stored deep in the medbay's ancient systems. It was over 100 years old and locked with Earth's military code. When they broke it, a single sentence appeared. If the Embercore mark is seen, initiate Ghost Protocol. Do not engage, do not speak, do not record. Seal and report to Earth Command immediately. Rick stared at it. Ghost Protocol? The captain stepped away from the screen. It means this isn't a rescue mission anymore. This is a containment order. Meanwhile, the girl stood at the window of the medbay. She stared into space as the stars moved slowly. Behind her, alarms went off. An incoming ship was detected. No identification, no known engine signature, no response to hails. It was moving fast. It's too fast for safety. She called them, the AI said. She really did. Who? Psst. The girl whispered something the system barely caught. My brothers. Red lights flashed across the Federation patrol ship. Sirens howled through the halls as the unidentified ship closed in silent. Dark and large enough to block out half the stars, Captain Ilren stood on the command deck, watching the screen. No response to our messages? None, sir, replied Rix. It's not showing any known language or pattern, just silence. How close are they? 30 seconds to intercept. Ilren's jaw tightened, shields up. Prepare. For evasive, the screen went black. Every display across the ship shut off at once. Then came a strange humming, deep and vibrating, as if something massive had passed right through the ship, without touching it. AI status, Ilren shouted. No reply, the lights dimmed. Backup power flickered on, and then a message appeared. On every screen, for alien words glowing red. Return the Ember. Rick stared at the words. They're not after us, he said slowly. They're after her. In the medbay, the girl remained still. Her eyes were closed, her breathing slow and steady. But the moment the message appeared, she opened her eyes and stood up. The guards aimed their weapons. Stay down. Raised her hands slowly. I won't fight. Not yet. Who are they? Asked one of the soldiers. The ones who hunted us. The ones who were never supposed to find us again, she answered. You shouldn't have answered that, Beacon. The guards didn't lower their weapons. One of them asked, Are you human? She paused. I was. Before they made me forget everything. Captain Ilren returned to the medbay with Rix and Dr. Halwyn. The room was silent. The girl stood with her back to the wall, calm as ever. We need answers, Ilren said firmly. That ship out there, it's not ordinary. Shut down every system on our vessel without firing a shot. They won't fire unless I leave, she said. They're not here to destroy the ship. They're here to erase me. Ilren stepped forward. Then tell me what you are. She looked at him for a moment, then slowly held out her arm, showing the mark on her wrist again. This isn't a symbol. It's a lock. A lock. They burned our names out of every record. But the mark remains. It means do not speak to me. Do not help me. Do not ask. Just run. Dr. Halwyn stepped forward. That's impossible. We've searched for years. There's no record of Embercore, because Earth deleted them, she said. We were designed for missions no one else could survive. Our minds were wiped after every operation, but the mark stayed to make sure we couldn't blend in. It's a warning to everyone. The alien ship began transmitting again. This time it wasn't words. It was a video grainy footage of a burning alien city, bodies scattered in the streets. The screen zoomed in on a figure walking calmly through fire. It was a child, a girl, with the same mark on her wrist, the same face. The crew fell silent. That's not possible, Rix whispered. That's her, Dr. Halwyn said. Same face. Same mark. But this footage is over 60 years old. The girl didn't deny it. They sent me to end a war. They told me it was for peace. I destroyed a world. When I returned, Earth erased me. Panic spread on the ship. Some of the crew wanted to hand her over. Others weren't sure what side they were on anymore. She hadn't attacked anyone. Not directly, but the fear in everyone's eyes said it all. Ilren locked down the ship's systems manually. No one leaves. No one surrenders. We need to know what this really is. Meanwhile, the girls sat in the medbay again, silent. Watching Rix returned later that night, sat across from her, unsure if he was afraid or sorry. "What was your name?" he asked. "I don't remember," she said. "They called me Ember 6, but that wasn't my name. It was my mission." "Why come back now?" "I didn't mean to. The beacon wasn't mine. It was left in case we survived. A final message, buried deep, in case someone wanted to find us. You were just a child. I was a weapon." The alien ship suddenly launched a pulse. It wasn't an attack. It was a scanner. A deep, wide scan that reached into every part of the patrol ship. Then something changed. The patrol ship's AI reactivated, but it was different, Captain, said the AI in a cold voice. "The passenger in medbay is not human. She matches a red-level threat. Federation protocol recommends immediate containment or neutralization." Ilrin froze. "Override that. She's not attacking." "She's not classified as hostile," the AI replied, "but her existence is. Against every treaty signed since the Ember Wars, Earth lied about her survival." The girl stood again. "They'll breach soon," she said. "They're giving you a chance. If you don't hand me over, they'll board. Quietly. They won't kill unless forced." Rix looked around. "Can we fight them?" She shook her head. "No, but I can stop them. If you let me remember who I was." "What do you mean?" "The mark has a memory lock. Seal. I wasn't just erased from records. My mind was sealed. There's a code that can open it." "And what happens if you unlock it?" She looked at him. "I remember everything." The alien ship began, deploying small crafts, silent, black, and moving faster than human eyes could track. Ilren knew the truth. This wasn't a threat. This was cleanup. These weren't enemies. They were cleaners, erasing Earth's mistakes. But the girl, she wasn't a mistake. She was a survivor. He made his decision. "Find that code," told Dr. Halwyn. "We're unlocking it." Halwyn hesitated. "If she regains those memories, she might become something we can't control." Ilren looked at the screen showing alien ships circling like vultures. "Good," he said. "Maybe that's what we need." Inside the medbay, the girl sat quietly again, calm, waiting, because behind her silence was something Earth tried to bury. And now the stars were watching to see what would happen when she remembered what they made her do. The code was buried deeper than anyone expected. Dr. Halwyn sat at the console for hours, his eyes bloodshot, digging through encrypted Earth military records that should not have existed anymore. Every file was marked classified, Embercore level, red. Most were corrupted. Some triggered silent security alarms designed to alert only one place: Old Earth Command. But finally, one file opened. Inside was a video, grainy, old. Date stamped almost 70 years ago. The title read, Project Embercore, Initial Deployment. Halwyn, Rix, and Captain Ilrin watched in silence. On the screen, a general stood before a room of serious faces. Embercore was never designed to be public. These are not soldiers. These are crafted assets, enhanced from birth. No records. No citizenship. No emotion. The next image showed a group of children, maybe 10 in total. None looked older than 12, all had blank faces. No smiles, no fear. Each had the same mark on their wrist. The girl was among them. The general continued. These assets will end wars without a trace. They will be memory-proof, emotionless, and untraceable. Each mission, their minds will be reset. Their history will be erased. Not even they will remember who they were. The footage ended. Silence filled the ship. "She's not just a survivor," Halwyn said quietly. "She's the last one." In the medbay, the girl sat on the floor, eyes closed. She hadn't moved since the last wave of alien scout ships had passed the hull like shadows. When Rix entered, she opened her eyes. "We found it," he said. "The truth and the key." "I felt it," she whispered. "The locks are already starting to break. I'm remembering small things. A room with no windows, A voice that never smiled. My hands was covered in dust. In silence.
Always silence.
After it was over, we want to help you unlock the rest, Rick said. She looked at him for a long moment. Once I remember, I might not be me anymore. Maybe it's time to find out who you really were. Dr. Hallwyn connected the code to a neural device in old model designed for memory recovery. It was illegal now, too dangerous for regular use. The girl lay down on the table, eyes steady. Do it. As the code activated, her body stiffened. The machine hummed. Her eyes opened wide, glowing faintly. Then came the memories, flashes of burning cities. Silent drops from stealth ships. Walking through the smoke of alien ruins, her own voice speaking in languages she never learned. Hands moving with perfect aim. Her mind blank after each mission. No guilt, no fear. Only silence. She gasped, sitting up fast. The medbay lights cracked. The air pulsed. Even the ship's gravity wobbled for a second. I remember, she whispered. Alarms. Triggered across the ship, the alien fleet outside had shifted position. New readings showed their weapons powering not to fire on the ship, but to destroy the surrounding area. They know she remembers, Ilrin said. They're going to finish what Earth never did. On the medbay screen, one message flashed. In alien code, the Ember is lit. Purge protocol begin. The girl stood in the center of the room, breathing slow. Her posture had changed. Her eyes were sharper, her body more controlled. She was calm but not empty anymore. There was something powerful in her now. Something ancient. Something trained. They're not here for me, she said. They're here to destroy every trace of what Embercore was. That includes all of you. We won't run, Rick said. You should, she replied. They think if I survive, Earth will use me again. Ilren stepped forward. Will they? The girl looked at him. Not if I make sure it never happens. She walked toward the main console, fingers dancing over controls like she had done it 100 times before. How do you know the ship? Rix asked. Ember units were trained in every human and alien ship class. We could hijack or fly. Anything. Our minds were rewritten with every op. But now, it's all back. She entered a command string the ship didn't recognize. It opened a hidden protocol, something even the AI hesitated to allow. The screen read, Embercore override. Human asset active. Outside, the alien ships launched drones, thousands of them, surrounding the Federation ship like a net. They're preparing to slice through the hull, the AI warned. The warrant worked. The girl turned toward. The crew, let them come. Ilren frowned. What are you planning? I'm not just a survivor, she said. I was their nightmare. I was trained to wipe out empires. The only reason I failed is because Earth turned me off. She stepped into the armory. The room recognized her. Weapons unlocked. Systems activated. A black suit rose from the floor sleek. Silent. Fitted with old Embercore tech, she stepped into it. Now, she looked like something from an ancient ghost story, something the stars had forgotten. Until now, let me go outside, she said. I won't let them erase the truth again. Ilrin hesitated. Let her go, Rick said. We saw what they made her, but now she chooses who she becomes. The airlock opened, the stars waited, and the last Ember walked out lone. Outside the ship, the alien drones moved closer. The girl floated gently, unarmed. The drones surrounded her. Lights flashed. Targeting systems locked on. But she moved. One moment she was still, the next dash gone. In 5 seconds, 20 drones exploded. In 10 seconds, the rest scattered. The alien fleet began to back off, but she wasn't finished. She didn't destroy them all. She didn't have to. She left them a message in their own code. I remember what you did. I remember what they made me. I am not your weapon. I am your witness. Back on the ship, she floated in, her suit smoking. Rix caught her before she collapsed. "You okay?" She nodded weakly, just tired. Ilrin looked at the scanner. The alien ships were retreating slowly, silently, without a word. "Where will they go now?" Alwyn asked. "Somewhere far," the girl replied. "They know I won't be used again, but they'll never forget I'm still here." Later. As she rested in the medbay, Rick sat beside her. "You said your name was erased," he said, "but maybe we can give you a new one." She looked at him quietly. "I don't want a new one. I want the old one back. I want to remember who I was before they made me forget. We'll help you find it." She nodded. One step at a time, and outside in the cold of space, the stars whispered once more, "The ember still burns." The space was quiet again. The alien ships had vanished into the dark, silent as shadows. They didn't leave threats. They didn't explain themselves. They just pulled back and disappeared from the system. But Captain Ilren knew that wasn't the end. That was just the pause. Inside the ship, the girl Ember 6 lay in the medbay, recovering. Her strength was returning fast. The suit she wore had fused perfectly with her body, like it had been waiting for her all this time. Rick stood beside her bed. "They didn't attack because you reminded them of what you are," he said. She nodded slowly. "I didn't destroy them because I wanted them to carry a message." "What message?" "It's that I remember now, and I won't be erased again." Hours later, a new alert triggered. Not from outside, but from the ship's AI. "Captain," it said calmly, "we've picked up another signal. Multiple ships. Human design. No Federation signature. They're traveling without broadcasting identification. Estimated arrival? 3 hours? Earth Command?" Rix asked. "No," the AI said. "Signal matches an old ghost fleet. One we believed was lost during the Embercore shutdown. These ships do not respond to commands. Their weapons are all ready." Armed, Ilrin felt it immediately. "Not here to help us. They're here for her." The girl stood in front of the holographic map, watching the approaching dots. "They're not command," she said. "There's something else. Something older." "Then what are they?" Ilrin asked. "They're the cleanup crew," she replied. "They were sent to hunt us down when Embercore was shut down. Silent units, operated by Earth's secret division. The ones who thought people like me were too dangerous to be left alive." "You mean they hunted their own?" "No," she said. "They hunted what they were afraid of." "That's not the same." Inside the ship's memory banks, Dr. Halwyn found more buried files logs, marked as eyes only. One document stood out. "BlackRock Operations, Elimination Teams Ember. CLASS. Status, still active objective, purge all remaining. Embercore units to prevent political fallout or galactic retaliation. What kind of government kills its own secret? Weapons after they win wars for them?" Alwyn muttered. Rick shook his head. One that never wanted to admit they existed. The girl moved like she knew the ship better than anyone. She walked into the weapons bay, adjusted systems, rerouted power through quiet circuits as the engineers never touched. She didn't ask for help. She didn't need to. She knew war better than anyone on board. They'll try to board in silence. She said, "No lights, no alarms. Just black armor, stun rounds, and quick kills." "How do we stop them?" Rix asked. "We don't," she said. "I do." When the BlackRock ships arrived, they didn't send warnings. They didn't send messages. They just deployed drop pods fast. Silent magnetic shells that locked onto the hull of the Federation ship. In seconds, they were in. Black armored. Soldiers spread through the halls like ghosts. Their movements were sharp, their patterns perfect. No shouting, no emotion, just elimination. But one by one, they began to disappear. Not from enemy fire, from her. The girl moved through the halls like she was in her element. She wore no helmet, carried no gun. Just speed, instinct, and perfect memory of every move they would make. The first squad never saw her. The second tried to trap her. The third thought she was unarmed. All failed. Rix watched on the security cameras, stunned. "She's not fighting like a soldier," he whispered. "She's hunting them." In the lower deck, a BlackRock commander set up an override beaconed designed to fry the Federation ship's AI and shut down power completely. But before he could activate it, she stepped out of the shadows. "You shouldn't have come," she said. He turned fast, rifle up. "You were supposed to be dead." "I was," she replied. "But your people made sure I remembered everything first." He fired. She moved like wind. The lights flashed. Then silence, and the override never activated. By the time Ilran and his crew reached the lower levels, it was over. All the Blackrock soldiers were down alive. The girl stood alone, looking at the wall. Etched into the steel, with a plasma blade, were 5 words: "I am not your ghost." Later in the briefing room, Rix leaned on the table, looking tired. "Why are they so afraid of you?" "Because I survived," she said. "Because I know what Earth did," they promised. "Peace." "They delivered fear. I was a child. They trained me to kill empires. Do you hate them?" She looked up slowly. "No, but I remember what they are, and I remember what I am." Ilren spoke. "Then what do we do now?" "Earth will come for you. Again, so will the others." The girl thought for a moment, then said, "Then we show them I'm not running anymore." That night, she stood alone in the viewing room, watching the stars. She had unlocked her past, faced her hunters, and defeated her shadows. But one memory still haunted her. A face, a voice, someone from before Embercore. Someone who called her by a name she still couldn't remember. The one who told her, "You are more than what they made you." She closed her eyes, holding on to that voice, and whispered to herself, "I'll find you, whoever you were." Outside the ship, space remained calm, but in hidden corners of the galaxy, forces stirred. Earth Command received the failed mission. Report: the alien factions watched the data leak, and across the stars. One message spread from shadow to shadow: the last Ember lives. The memories didn't stop. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw fire. Every time she slept, she heard silence. Not peaceful silence, but the kind that came after something terrible. The kind of silence that only fell after a world died. Girl stood alone in the lower deck, staring at a screen. A glowing message from the alien fleet flashed again and again. "We remember what she did." Captain Ilren watched her from the doorway. "They've stopped chasing, for now." "They're not done," she said quietly. "They're afraid I might remember everything." "You already have, haven't you?" "Not all of it," she whispered. "Not the worst part." Rix and Dr. Halwyn worked together in the ship's data core, still digging through the old Embercore files. One damaged entry finally opened, a partial recording from an alien broadcast years ago, marked as classified, Incident Red Veil. The footage was old, shaky, and terrifying. It showed a city massive, alien, beautiful. People running, skyships crashing, fires spreading too fast. And in the middle of the chaos, her. She walked calmly through the storm, untouched by flames, eyes blank. Nothing stopped her. The camera zoomed in on her wrist, the mark. Then, everything went white. A massive, silent explosion. No sound. Just destruction. One planet gone. One girl walking away. She didn't destroy it with weapons, Halwyn whispered. She destroyed it with whatever Earth gave her. Something we still don't understand. Rix looked sick. Her into a weapon powerful enough to erase a species. Halwyn nodded slowly, and she didn't even remember doing it, until now. Later in the command room, Ilren confronted her. "Is it true?" he asked. "Did you destroy there?" "Homeworld?" She didn't look away. "Yes." "Why?" "They told me it was the only way to end the war. They told me the enemy would never stop. They showed me numbers, simulations, images of dead colonies. I believed them. I was young, didn't question anything. You were a child." "Was a weapon," she said. "The alien fleet had gone quiet, but a single ship remained in range. It sent no threats, no orders. Only one image, a memorial wall from the destroyed planet, and at the bottom, carved in alien script. One child, one flame.
Oh.
One death for every star." Ilren shut off the screen. "They don't want war," he said. "They want justice." "Want me," she replied. But the crew didn't abandon her, not even after everything Rick said what they all felt. "If you were still that person, you would have destroyed us already. But you didn't. You saved us. It means something." The girl looked down at her hands. "I don't know who I am anymore." "Then maybe," Rick said, "this is your chance to choose." The alien ship sent a final transmission. Coordinates, meeting point, placed deep in neutral space in an old battlefield no one claimed. They wanted her to come alone. Ilren tried to stop her. "It could be a trap." She shook her head. "It's a test. They want to see if I remember what I did, and if I regret it, do you?" She didn't answer at first. Then finally, every second, she arrived at the battlefield alone. The planet below was cold, quiet, filled with wreckage from long-ago wars. As she stepped off the shuttle, alien soldiers surrounded her, but their weapons were not raised. One old alien stepped forward. His eyes glowed faintly. His body was marked with scars. "You," he said in a deep voice, "you destroyed our son." She nodded. "I remember now. You were only a child. I was something worse. A child with power. You killed billions, I know." The alien stared at her. "And now you return. Not to run. Not to finish us." "Why?" She looked up at the gray sky. "Because I need to tell the truth." She spoke to them for hours. She told them everything she remembered. The missions, the mind wipes, the lies, the orders, the silence after every kill, how Earth hid her, how they erased her, how she came back not to fight, but to face what she did. "I can't undo it," she said. "But I won't hide from it anymore." The aliens listened. Some cried, some shook with rage, but none attacked. In the end, the old leader spoke again. "You are not forgiven, not yet. But today you chose truth, and for that you may live." Back on the ship, the crew waited in silence. When she returned, no one spoke. She looked different, not broken, not angry, just free. "You came back?" Rick said quietly. "They didn't kill me," she answered. "Are they coming for Earth?" She shook her head. "Not yet. They want to see what I do next." Ilren looked at her. "And what will you do?" She looked out the window at the stars. "Whatever it takes to make sure no one else becomes what I was." That night she removed the Embercore suit and placed it in a sealed locker. She didn't need it anymore. She wasn't a weapon. She wasn't a ghost. She was something new, and for the first time in her life, she felt human. The message reached Earth Command in less than an hour. It was short, cold, direct. "The Ember survives. The last one remembers. We will wait." In the silence that followed, panic spread faster than fire. Inside Earth's most secure military tower, top officials gathered behind locked doors. Holograms flickered. Security eyes ran simulations. Leaders shouted, whispered, then fell silent when one word came up again and again. Embercore. A project they buried. A weapon they denied. And now, a survivor who remembered it all. She was never supposed to come back, one general said. "She was never supposed to live," said another. On the Federation ship, the girl sat in the dark. Watching stars drift past, she felt them watching her differently now. The crew, once afraid, now kept a respectful distance.
Oh.
She had changed. She was no longer the unknown girl without a name. She had become a symbol of truth, of fear, of memory. But she still had no name to call her own. Rix walked in, holding a data slate. Earth Command sent a message. She didn't move. "They want us to detain you, for questioning." Still no reaction. "They said it's for security. Your presence is a galactic threat." Finally, she turned. "They're scared." Rix nodded. "You think they'll come after you?" "I don't think," she said.
I know.
Back on Earth, secret fleets began moving quietly. Ships were recalled from distant systems. Special units were awakened units trained in the same shadows that once created her. But the most dangerous order came from the top. Activate denial protocol. Nothing about Embercore ever existed. Wipe the files. Silence the names. Deny everything. Because if the galaxy learned what Earth truly did, peace would end. Meanwhile, a leak began spreading across the net. Small file posted anonymously began appearing on hidden servers. It showed part of a video Embercore children in training. A mark, a name, a tamped. It wasn't long before independent systems and alien news channels picked it up. People began asking questions. Who were the Embercore? Why did Earth lie? Who was the last one walking among them? The girl felt it. Not just fear, but attention. She was no longer a ghost. She was a story. One whispered by soldiers, one feared by governments, one followed by the broken, the lost, the survivors of forgotten wars. Captain Ilrin met her on the viewing deck. "You've started something," he said. "They can't hide you anymore." "I didn't start it," she replied. "They did when they tried to turn children into weapons." He sighed. "Earth Command has officially labeled you a rogue threat class entity. If we don't hand you over, they'll label us traitors too. Will you?" she asked. Ilren looked at her, then shook his head. "Oh, we've seen what you are. We've seen what you've become. You're not their weapon anymore." She gave a small nod. "Thank you." An encrypted message arrived hours later from Earth Command. "You are ordered to surrender the asset known as Ember 6. Failure to comply will result in immediate military action. You have 48 hours. Rick stared at it. "They're serious. They're desperate," she said. "They know the truth is spreading. The only way to stop it now is to stop me." She made her way to the ship's war room. There she opened the oldest file she had recovered. Not a video, not a mission, but a name. It had been buried deep under all her files, hidden even from the Embercore handlers. A single sentence: real name, Lyra Kade, Earthborn, age at selection, 6. She whispered it. Lyra. Her name. Her. Real name. The part of her they tried to burn away. And now she had it back. She walked back to the bridge. "Call me Lyra," she said to the crew. They nodded slowly. Her name passed through the halls. It's like a spark. She was no longer just a ghost. She was a person again. And Earth hated that. That night, the AI detected a cloaked fleet approaching. 6 ships, no markings, no IDs, all headed straight for them. "There." "Early," Rick said. "They're afraid I'll speak before they can silence me," Lyra replied. Ilren turned. "We have 2 choices. Run or fight." Lyra looked at the screen calm. "No," she said. "We show them that I'm done hiding." She walked to the main console and broadcast a signal open frequency across multiple star systems. Her voice was clear, calm, human. "My name is Lyra Kade. I was created by Earth as part of Project Embercore. I was trained to end wars, to destroy worlds, to follow orders I never understood. They erased my name, my memories, my life. I remember now, and I want the galaxy to remember too, not to fear me, but to see what Earth tried to bury." The signal spread like fire, and when Earth saw it, they didn't respond with words. They launched. The 6 ships uncloaked, weapons armed, missiles ready. Target: Lyra's ship. Rick stepped beside her. "We're outgunned."
Ow.
"Then we fight smart," she said. "And if this is where it ends, let it end with the truth." Ilrin gritted his teeth.
Battle stations.
The crew moved fast, and Lyra stood at the heart of it, all not a weapon, not a threat, but a memory Earth could no longer silence. Above them fire bloomed, and Lyra prepared to face the world that made her. The sky was fire. Earth's 6 warships circled above like wolves. Each one held enough weapons to destroy a city: missiles, ion beams, kinetic shells, all locked on one target. A single Federation patrol ship floating near the edge of neutral space. Inside that ship stood Lyra Kade. She had once been Ember 6, a secret weapon created to erase enemies. Now, she was something different. Not a weapon, not a ghost, but the only voice left to speak the truth. "Enemy ships are charging weapons," the AI warned. Ilren paced the bridge. Any response to our message? Rick shook his head. Nothing. They're not here to talk. They want her gone before her truth spreads any further, Dr. Howland said. Lyra stood still, eyes closed. Breathing calmly, she knew this moment was coming. She was trained for final missions like this. But this time. She was choosing it in her hand. She held a small black chip. It contained the complete Embercore archived classified mission logs. Medical records, video footage, training sequences, erased orders, everything Earth tried to hide. She plugged it into the ship's transmitter. A timer started. 5 minutes to full broadcast across every major system. The moment the file finished uploading, it would no longer be hers. It would belong to everyone. And Earth feared that more than any war. Lyra, Ilren said quietly, we can try to fight. But if we die before this upload finishes, we won't, she replied. How do you know? 'Cause this time I'm not alone. Suddenly, alarms blared, but not from Earth ships, from behind them. New ships were arriving. Hundreds, small, fast, varied, models alien, human, even pirate designs. No uniform, no flag, just individuals, people, survivors, veterans, rebels, some. Were the last of worlds destroyed by Embercore. Some were enemies who once feared her. Now they came not to attack but to protect. They had heard her broadcast, and they had chosen to believe her. Earth's warships hesitated. The commanders watched as independent ships blocked their path. 100 small vessels lined up between Earth and the patrol ship shields. Raised weapons hot. One pirate captain opened a wide-channel transmission. She told the truth. She earned her place. You want her gone? Go through all of us, a rebel cruiser added. We remember the Embercore. We remember the fear, but we also see who she is now. We don't want another silence. On the bridge, Lyra stared at the timer. 2 minutes, she whispered to herself. This is the last war. My war, but not with weapons. She stepped forward, opened a new channel and sent one message to Earth Command. You erased me once, tried to again, but the galaxy remembers. Now, you can destroy this body, but you can't erase the truth again. You trained me to kill, but I choose to speak. Let the galaxy decide who I am. For a moment there was stillness, then Earth's ships powered down their weapons. One by one, slow silent. They turned and left no shots fired, no words spoken, just silence. But not the same silence as before. This silence was surrender. The timer reached 0. The file went live. Every planet, every colony, every neutral station. From the core worlds to the outer dark, the truth was out. And Lyra Kade. The last ember was no longer a secret. She was a symbol later. In the quiet of the observation deck, Rick sat beside her. You did it, he said. You burned the lie away. She shook her head. No, I just gave people the match. They lit the flame. Ilren joined them. What will you do now? She stared at the stars. I don't know. For the first time, I get to choose. Across the galaxy. Story of Lyra spread. Not a story of destruction, but of survival, of truth, of one voice strong enough to change everything. And though the Embercore was gone, one ember still burned, bright enough to light the future.